Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 76th edition of LM's Weekly Wrap, our weekly program to cover the market related developments. This week, in a sense, has been a kind of a picture perfect scenario for the markets. We've seen a whole host of good news, whether it is the domestic markets or whether it is the international markets. In a way, I think this month of December has been very, very positive for the markets. We started off with strong monthly data, which was backed by festival sales, etc., consumption related figures, very healthy tax figures, very strong global the macro data. And as far as the following weeks were concerned, we saw the election outcomes, the unprecedented victory for BJP, and now we have strong global cues. So we had the US Federal Reserve meet, and the outcome of that is that there was a very dovish commentary which has come in from the US Federal Reserve, hinting that the monetary tightening is almost over, and come next year we are likely to see a possibility of 3 rate cuts in 2024. Now this has been taken very well by the global markets as well as the domestic markets. In the global markets, we've seen yesterday a very strong rally in Dow Jones, 2 days of rally over there. Nasdaq has come up, and overall the global scenario looks quite strong. We have the geopolitical tensions which are showing signs of easing off a bit. We have the crude oil prices which dipped from $100 a barrel to nearly $72 a barrel. We have the dollar index which has come to 101.5. We have the 10-year benchmark bond yield which has been sliding downwards, and on last count it stood at 3.92%. Now all these augur extremely well for the global markets as well as the domestic markets. Coming to the domestic markets, I think we've had the best of all the worlds. We have the Nifty, which is close to 21,340 on last count. We have the Sensex, which is ruling above 71,000. And we've seen a dream run in the markets as far as this week is concerned. And we've seen all kinds of sectors perform very well in the markets. And the pet theme of this government, which is the PSU performance, whether it is the defense undertakings or whether it is the railways or whether it is power, I think all these entities have had a dream run in the markets in this particular week. We start off sectorally, and the first is the auto sector. I think auto sector continues to perform very well, and the two-wheeler pack has done especially very well. We have Hero MotoCorp, which has moved up in trade, Eicher Motors benefiting from premiumization, TVS Motor Company, which is going to gain from the FTSE rebalancing, where additional allocations which happened today, and we have Bajaj Auto, which is gaining on strong operational performance. So I think two-wheeler pack has performed very, very well. At the same time, we have auto ancillary companies which are also performing quite well. Passenger vehicle makers also continue to perform very well. So this is one side. Then we have in banking. In banking, we've seen PSU banks perform exceptionally well. We've seen very good performances coming in from the likes of State Bank of India, Bank of Baroda, Canara Bank, Punjab National Bank. We've seen very good fundraising happening in Jammu and Kashmir Bank, Bank of India, where there was a very strong response. And personally, we also like banks like DCB Bank or Federal Bank, Karnataka Bank, CSB, City Union Bank, etc. So watch out for this space. This space is looking very, very exciting. NBFCs have been on a tear because with hopes of a rate cut happening in the next year, the NBFCs could emerge as a dark horse and benefit from the interest rate cuts. So I think the NBFCs are the place to look out for. We've seen housing finance companies do very well in trade. We have seen M&M Finance. We've seen companies like L&T Finance Holdings, Poonawalla FinCorp, Jio Financial, all these having strong prospects of moving up in the next year. As far as NBFCs are concerned, I think the star performers have been the power finance companies, which is Power Finance Corporation. We have REC and we have IRIDA, which is a recently listed company. All these stocks have been on a tear because finance will be required to sustain the growth story which is there in the different sectors. At the same time, we have a finance company like for the railways, which is IRFC, which has been doing very well in trade. This stock has also grown 3 times in the last few months. We have Hudco, which has hit a high of 100 rupees. This stock used to languish at 50-55 levels. It is doing exceptionally well in trade. So I think the entire ecosystem of NBFCs has done very well in the markets and expected to shine on improved performance going forward. So that's the NBFC and the banking story for you. Then we have capital goods space. In capital goods space, we have certain companies which continue to do very well. Companies like Schneider Electric, HBL Power Systems, Action Construction Equipment, they continue to do very well in trade. The larger companies like ABB, Siemens, they also continue to perform very well in trade. We have after this we have infrastructure players which continue to perform very well. We have Ultratech Cement, which is a big beneficiary of the infrastructure boom, and of course the contracting firms like Larsen and Toubro or the likes of NCC, HCC, GMR Infra, which continue to perform very well. GMR Infra Airports was a big beneficiary after GQG Partners has acquired a stake in the company. We expect a very big upside as far as the GMR Airports infrastructure is concerned in the times to come. The aviation sector also continues to do well. It's a beneficiary of the travel, which is increased travel, which is taking place. After this, coming to railways, which has been our pet theme, I think railways continues to do very well. The entire ecosystem has been performing quite well. We've seen very good performances from Rail Vikas Nigam Limited, Ircon, Railtel, RITES, IRCTC and IRFC. Apart from this, the private sector players like Titagar, Ramkrishna Forge continue to do well. And having said that, I think Texmaco Rail, which was LM's weekend recommendation, has performed exceptionally well. It has achieved its target and we are given a retread hold on the stock. Apart from this, LM weekender stocks like Satlej Jal Vidyut Nigam Limited has also achieved its target, where we are given a retread call, and Bharat Electronics, which has also achieved its target, has been given a retread hold down. So I think a lot of companies where the conviction rate is very, very high, whether they're largely PSU firms, the conviction rates are very, very high, and therefore we have given a hold recommendation with respect to these stocks. Coming to the other sectors, I think the IT sector especially, we had the IT sector which has performed quite well, and the IT sector Nifty IT index is at a 20-month high today, as we discussed at this point of time. We've seen a strong movement in HCL Technologies. We have seen very strong momentum in Tech Mahindra, TCS and the mid-cap IT stocks. But there's a word of caution over here that still the IT sector is impacted by the global cues. So one should not get carried away by this momentum which is happening in the markets at this point of time. So a bit of caution is necessary, and if necessary, one can even book profits in the IT sector related stocks. At the same time, the same would be the case with FMCG. FMCG is also struggling. It is struggling with poor rural demand. Some green shoots of recovery are there, but I think one needs to be a little bit cautious. So I think overall, to sum up, we've had a mixed picture in pharma also. There have been some hits and some misses as far as the pharma space is concerned. But overall, there's been no dearth of action in the market. I think defense continues to do very well. Railways continues to do very well, and the sector which has really shown is power. We've seen the entire space, whether it is power, whether it is coal mining, Coal India continues to do very well. Whether it is power generation, in power generation we have NTPC which is doing very well. We have JSW Energy, which is doing quite well. We have a whole host of companies, Torrent Power, etc., which have been doing very well. So power generators have been doing very well. Power transmission companies, where we have Power Grid Corporation, which was our weekender stock idea for the last week, and power distribution companies, where we have whole host of transformer related companies like old-time transformers and rectifiers, etc. Bhale, all of them have been doing quite well in trade. So I think to sum up, it's a picture perfect scenario for the market. And I think finally, to sum up, whenever there is a picture perfect situation where people think that nothing can really go wrong, we've seen, if we just take into account the benefit of hindsight, then there have been instances where there have been certain slippages. So keep booking profits at regular intervals and invest wisely. Do write back to us with your feedback on our program, which we'll appreciate, and we hope to see you in the forthcoming episode of LM's Weekly Wrap. Thank you very much.